Pull out the pop-up chat.
No.
Oh god, I'm still muted.
I'm so sorry. I exited out.
Oh.
I meant to go to YouTube, but I went to YouTube through Google Hangouts.
Oh, yeah, no, that would not be good.
There we go. Okay. So what did you think of the Raven Boys? Oh, this one, I forgot this was a reread for you.
Yes, this one is the only one I've read in the series. So I really, really liked this one.
Yeah, me too.
I rated it a 5 out of 5 stars.
100%, yes.
Trevor's in the next room watching, and he's like, the live is 30 seconds behind of what I'm talking. You should put in headphones or something, because I can hear myself through you.
Oh no!
Or mute it. I mean, you're hearing both of our conversations now. Okay, so someone else said, I read this book last year and haven't continued the series yet, but I hope to. Can't wait. Me too. Yeah. I'm really excited because I've been wanting to read this, I think, since last May, and I'm finally going to do it. So I really am enjoying it so far.
It's really good.
So what did you read it or rate it?
5 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you guys rated it.
Yes. All of my notes are so choppy. So, like, my first note is Ronan with the bird. That's all I put. Because it was so good.
Ronan.
Did you see that we're getting a sub-series or like a sister series to this, The Raven Cycle?
Don't read the synopsis. Don't read the synopsis in case it, because there is a plot twist in The Raven King that you are going to absolutely love. It is, so Hannah. And, don't read the synopsis because I don't want you to get spoiled.
So, I don't know when I got spoiled. Do you already know the spoiler that I was talking about?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so Trevor, I think it's this
it's book 2.
Book 2 it happens. But something happens in book 2 that I was scrolling through Twitter because it's talk about this new book, and I was like, well, of course.
No. You mean you were spoiled book 2 of The Raven Boys?
Yeah.
No. What happens in The Raven King does not happen in book 2. This is Raven King only.
Okay.
So yeah. Oh, we can't stand Gansey. I love Gansey.
I really like Gansey too, just because he's different.
You need to text me what you got spoiled. But yes, Gansey is definitely. I like Gansey. I love all of these characters. They're just. Blue is phenomenal.
What you guys can't see is that I've just texted Gabby what the spoiler that I got, and she is making a face that
I didn't catch that in the Dream Thieves. I don't think that's true.
Oh my god, that's intense.
Well, we'll find out when we read the Dream Thieves, because I don't think that's true. But we'll see.
Interesting. But so it's Call Down the Hawk or something? That's what the sub-series or the second series is?
Oh my god. I'm going to have to we might have to just continue on.
I know, right? It's coming out this year.
Oh my god. Because The Raven Boy, I think, to me, is the best book in the series.
The first one?
No, I'm sorry. The Raven King.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
It goes The Raven King, The Raven Boys, Dream Thieves, and then Blue Lily, Lily Blue.
At least it's not like a second book slump then.
No, the Dream Thieves is really good. I think that the Raven Boys was better than the Dream Thieves, but the Dream Thieves is still fantastic. I mean, all of these books are really good. It's just such a unique plot.
So,
okay, so what did you think?
Okay, so I loved it. I loved all the characters. I loved the different dynamics. I love that we have like a girl with a bunch of boys because I like relate to that. So when I said Ronan with the bird, I just liked that we got to see such tenderness for a small creature from someone who is such a hard exterior, and I would like really loved that. Shush.
So book 2 is pretty much Ronan. Like you get all of like Ronan character development. I mean, you get character development in all of them, but it's very like Ronan heavy, and it's so good.
So is it like that with all of the books? Is that each book has a more development and they kind of get their own book, or is it just the Dream Things is just Ronan? Like, does Blue get her own book in like Blue Lily Lily Blue, or?
I think Blue's main story was the Raven Boys. I don't actually, you know what? I don't know. I think because Ronan is actually a really interesting character. He ends up being like a really important piece of what's going on. Like the story expands so significantly, and he is like
So Call Down the Hawk is Ronan's story.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, he is a very, very interesting character. Well, you know, like you haven't, okay, well, obviously, spoilers for Raven Boys. So Ronan can go into his dreams.
Very cool.
Right. Like, and take things out.
Wait, what?
You read the ending of the Raven Boys, right?
Yeah.
He means that literally. I took Chainsaw out of my dreams.
That happened in book 2. Trevor's saying it happened in book 2. I guess now David's going to tell you. He said I took it out of my dreams. Yeah, that's a good one. It's at the very last line.
Yeah, like he literally can take things out of his dreams.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I figured he was like a shapeshifter, to be honest.
I'm sorry?
I figured Ronan was like a shapeshifter. That he was like gonna turn into a bird.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Spoilers, because you're like, I'm not making a face, but I'm making a face.
I'm not gonna say anything. But yeah, okay, so Ronan is very complex because he can actually go into his dreams. And that, I mean, that's not a spoiler because obviously it's at the end of the book. And she doesn't mean that like figuratively. She means that literally when she wrote that. And so the Dream Thieves just like, it's not Ronan's perspective though. Like you get all of them.
That's good.
But I think you get a lot more of like, I think the relationships kind of blossom a little bit more with like each of the characters. So you get to see like Ronan and Blue together more. You see Blue and Noah a lot more as well. Blue and Adam's relationship. So it's more of like developing the characters. What?
Building the connections between
exactly. And then book, so we don't want to jump into spoilers, but that's what, so if you really like Ronan's character, you're gonna love the Dream Thieves, I think.
Cool. So the next note that I put in here was the first reading with the creepy young guy and her mom warning her to stay away from him.
Wait, what?
The first reading with the creepy younger guy and her mom warning her to stay away from him. And like the group reading and Ronan challenging them, and they called him a snake. And like the sisters are like, "What are you?" I was like, "Ooh, he's gonna be something different. Like he's gonna be like something different, not like humany."
Mm-hmm. So with that guy that she are you talking about the professor, or are you talking or the teacher, or are you talking about See, I didn't catch that on my first read. When like that guy who came in and helped them like change the light bulb and was like, I want a reading. I didn't realize it was their teacher.
Oh, yeah.
When I read it the first time. And then when I read it the second time, I was like, oh my gosh, that's, crap, what's his name?
I think I didn't realize it until at my second time reading it too.
Okay. Shoot, what's his name? How am I forgetting his name?
So I'm dying to know, in the tree, what did Adam see? Like, what did Gansey see? Like, it doesn't tell you, but that's what I want to know. Because we know what Blue saw.
You see, I think you find out later on in the series.
Okay.
Yeah, it comes back.
Because both of them come out devastated.
What?
Both of them come out devastated, and Adam even says, like, it's not real, like, I didn't do that, I would never do that type of thing.
Because they all see something different.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, what did they see?
Yeah, so...
Like, so this is going to be, like, another question, not so much about the book. So, like, if you went into the tree, what do you think you would see that would devastate you?
Probably Kevin dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably what Blue saw.
I think any family members or, like, my pets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, if we're not talking about, like, and, like, what would be devastating that's not, like, family members, pets, everyone's safe.
Mm-hmm.
What would be, like, another, like, nightmare? It's a personal question.
We got real deep all of a sudden. Do you know what yours is?
Maybe, like, friends being mad at me. Because, like, I really care, like, what my friends think of me. So maybe, like, a fallout with, like, some of my best friends.
I would think, like, it would be me getting sick.
Oh,
like, okay. Having cancer or something and not telling anybody type of thing.
That's, yeah. That's, ugh. This got deep. Yeah. This is sad. Subject. Gosh, what was his name?
I really enjoyed her writing style. Is just stunning. So
Barrington Welk.
That's it just sounds like such a fake name. Like, that's just, yeah. But I really enjoyed her writing style, and the way that she writes is just breathtaking. Like, I wrote down Adam saying, I live in a place that was made for leaving. Like, that's such a good way to describe something like that. And it was just so well written.
It's really good. I kind of wish, so I know we mentioned this a little bit before we started the live show, but did you enjoy the audiobook?
Not really. It just was a little too twangy for me, and I was just like, like, it was hard to listen to.
Yeah, I agree. If it had been by somebody else, I think it would have been really good, because I think sometimes her writing is a little flowery, and if you're not, like, invested, if you're not paying attention, because the story is so complex, there's just so many elements to this story. It's really hard to, like, say a synopsis about it, you know?
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, like, when I read it the first time, I had trouble because I found myself just, like, falling out of the story. I'd, like, read a page and I'd be like, oh my gosh, what did I just read, and have to reread it. But with listening to it, I followed along a lot better. It flowed better for me. I just kind of wish that it was narrated differently.
See, and I did the opposite. So I read it physically the first time, and I listened to the audiobook the second time, and I liked my experience better reading it.
Okay.
It took me a while to read it, but I was way more invested in the story when I read it, like, physically read it. So
I think I'm going to try reading the other ones, because I listened to all of them on audiobook. Mm-hmm. The first time I read The Raven Boys, I read, like, half of it, and then I went to audiobook and I listened to all of them on audiobook. So I think now I'm going to try reading them, and I'm going to see if I read it a little quicker, or, like, if I enjoy it better. Exactly. I'm curious to see what my thoughts are on reading it. because I read this when Blue Lily Lily Blue came out. So it's been like 3 years since I read The Raven Boys.
Okay. So I looked up some discussion questions. So the first one says, reread the quotes in the prologue from Edgar Allan Poe and Oscar Wilde. Do they mean something different to you now that you've read The Raven Boys? What character or characters does each quote remind you of and why? So Edgar Allan Poe says, deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wandering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before.
Ronan for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. And Oscar Wilde is, a dreamer is one who can only find his way by moonlight, and his punishment is that he sees the dawn before the rest of the world. And I think that's Noah. Noah's the ghost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's Noah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But then I also think of it as like, yeah, I could see both of them.
I love how
I'm sorry.
I love how out of place Adam feels in this group, but also that he fits. Like, I love that we see it as such a different perspective, living among the rich and well off, that he.
It's like, it's such a weird group of characters, but they just work so well.
Yeah. But I appreciate that we get to see that turmoil of him trying to fit in, but not wanting to fit in too much because he wants to be self-reliant. And it's just so many facets of their characters and how they all play off of each other well, and how each facet of each other works off to make more facets. It's just incredible dynamic with characters.
Yeah, I agree. Who is your least favorite of the 5?
Ooh. Maybe Noah.
Really?
I don't know. I say Noah because of like the majority of the book, we didn't know he was a ghost. And so the fact that he was a ghost, like for the good chunk of it, I was like not really invested in him. But once we found out like his story and what was going on, and now that he like grew attached to Blue after they like found out that he was dead, he was like leeching her energy, and they like drew a deeper connection because of that. Like, that made me like him more at the end. But I think I would rather have stories about Adam and Ronan and Gansey and Blue over Noah.
Okay. I liked Noah. I think it's, well, you tend to, yeah, Noah ends up, yeah, I like Noah. I'll just leave it at that. I would say, so it's interesting because it's an interesting question because I like all the characters, and I definitely agree with like what you have to say with Noah. You don't see him as much in book 1. He really is kind of like nowhere, like he's not in a lot of the book, of the book.
Or I think that representation of him being a ghost, like that is him showing him like really being a ghost and like
right.
So they did that for a reason.
Right, but Adam really pisses me off sometimes. Like, he's just
like what? Like what?
I don't know. I don't like the way he like thinks of Gansey sometimes. Like, now you get everything you want in one. Like, now you have like everything you want. He says something about like
all of his things in one place.
Yeah, like all of the things that you think you own are in one place. And it's like, Gansey doesn't think of his friends like that. I don't know where like Adam is coming up with like the self-destruction thought process.
It's his like guard that he puts up.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, he's an interesting
such a like shitty home life that like he has that with Gansey, is that he doesn't want to be taken care of. He's put his trust into people that weren't supposed to be taken care of, and they've taken advantage of him. Like, just like he was supposed to give all of his paycheck to his parents that are taking care of him, like, and he's like, no. So that's why he has that chip on his shoulder, and that's why he's like, anybody who is supposed to care about you is like treats you like this. He thinks that's normal, so that's why he thinks Gansey is treating him like that. He puts that shield up so he can protect himself because he's been beaten down throughout his life.
Yeah. So Reed's Reader says, I know we are supposed to learn to hate Adam from all I have heard about the series, but I like him so far. I think it's interesting. I actually end up liking Adam more throughout the series. Like, Adam is the most annoying to me in book 1.
Oh. So he was the one that you are... What about the whole series? Is he still your least favorite out of the whole series? Trevor says that he's not really a fan of Adam. He annoys him. I understand Adam, so I get it.
Just the Raven King is so good.
But that's not a person. I mean, it may be a person, but like out of the 5 characters, who is your least favorite?
Adam.
Out of the whole series?
Yeah. Well, of those 5.
Out of those 5, yeah.
My least favorite character is Blue's mom.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I feel like we haven't had that much of a development of her in this. I mean, we have a little bit, but not a lot. So are we going to get more of her in the later books?
Oh, yeah. She plays a big role. So everyone who has suggested the books to me.
What?
Oh, no. No. I disagree. No.
I don't want him to be the villain.
No, he is
the villain.
No spoilers, but no, I would not think Adam is like Umbridge at all.
He's got too many facets to be like Umbridge.
Yeah.
Umbridge is like very flat surface. She's just a bitch, and that's it.
Like, he's evil. Yeah. Umbridge is my favorite, which is side note that you gave Order of the Phoenix.
Oh, you're
Umbridge is my favorite character. Like, she's my favorite villain because she's so bad. Like, she's so evil.
She does evil well. Like, she makes it.
She's just like J.K. Rowling just created just such a like horrible character that she's just such a great villain. Anyways, but no, she's not as annoying. Like, Adam is not as annoying as Umbridge.
I hope not.
No.
Okay, so question number 2 says, the character's clothes were referred to on many different occasions throughout the story. Adam's Aglionby uniform isn't as pristine as Ronan's or Gansy's, and Blue often creates new outfits from bits of older ones. What does each character's clothes say about him or her? Do each character's outfits truly reflect the image that he or she is trying to portray? I mean, I think it speaks greatly to the wealth that they have.
Yeah, I like that question. I think it's interesting how like they all create their so like Blue is very interesting character. She's very like unique, eclectic. So I like
a lot of Lola from Lola and the Boy Next Door.
I haven't read that.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you read the rest of the series of that?
No. I reread Anne and the French Kiss and I was like not a fan anymore.
Oh, Jesus.
I just didn't like the message.
I get that.
Yeah. Umbridge deserves what she got from the centaurs. Say I hate her, but she would be fun to perform in drag. Sorry, back to Raven voice. Agree. But and then Gansey, like, so I think what's interesting with the 4 boys, well, Noah not so much because he doesn't really change his outfit, but with the 3 boys, it's interesting how like they wear the same uniform and it's supposed to make everyone equal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you're not supposed, it's, but they each wear their uniform differently. Like Adam's is kind of, what is it? It's like secondhand, right?
Yeah. And
it's dirty. I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He always like has the whole thing, and like the other boys who are privileged do like little like whatever they want with it basically because they can.
Right. And then Ronan always wears his like, I think he rolls up like his shirts and he wears it more like a tough guy, and then Gansey's always like very like pristine and like, I don't know. I think it's interesting. They each have their own little take on their uniforms.
Blue reminded me a bit of Charlotte from the study in Charlotte, minus the Holmesness of Charlotte, if that makes sense. I think a bit from the fact that she's hard to get to know, and she like keeps kind of everybody at distance. So I get that aspect of it, but I think they're still pretty different characters.
Yeah, Charlotte can be quite a bitch.
Yeah, she's very intense, and I think Blue is a little bit more restrained.
Yeah, Blue is quick to put you in your place, but she's not like, she doesn't really turn up her nose at anybody.
Yeah. So and I think that's kind of like the Holmes part.
Right, and she like, yeah, and she told, I like how she tells Adam, like, I like the fact that you don't have money.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then it's also, I feel like it's kind of, it's interesting. It's like both ways. Like Adam and Blue judge Ronan and Gansey for having money, but because they think they're judging them, but Gansey and Ronan never judge them for not having money. It's like the ones that don't have money are the ones that are more judgy in that group.
Yeah, they have that wall that they have to put up because they think that everybody's looking down at them, and it's all in their head of what they perceive, how people are treating them.
Yes, by the way, yes. Ronan reminds me of Danny Zuko from Grease.
Oh, totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Okay, so the third one says, Blue is the only person in her family who is not a psychic. How do you think she feels about this? How does this shape her personality? Is there something that the members of your family excel at that you cannot do? And how does this make you feel?
That's a good question.
I think that, like, she feels a little left out that she can't be psychic. And I know, like, if I was in that position, like, I would feel a little used. Because she can't do anything, but she amplifies all of their powers. So it's like, it's almost like she is a stepping stone that they constantly step on so they can have greatness, and she is just there.
Yeah. Yeah, but then she no. I don't think spoiler. I can't remember. Yeah, she mentions it in the Raven Boys, right? Where she's like, she's frustrated because she's like, I'm not psychic. Like, I can't do that. She is frustrated.
I think that also shapes, like, because it says, how does this shape her personality? I think that also, like, contributes to the chip on her shoulder type of thing. Because she's constantly the one that's not being the one, like, she's got to prove herself and things like that, like, because she doesn't fit in.
What do you think of the other psychics in the house, since we're kind of talking about that?
So they all have very distinct personalities, but for the life of me, I cannot remember which name is which. I really like the, like, flitty one.
Persephone?
Yes.
Where she's like, they're making margaritas, and Calla's like, or not Calla, Mora is like, oh, these are too strong. Persephone's like, my hand slips.
Yeah. Like, I just like that she's like,
I'm gonna go make a pie.
She, like, sees everything, but she, like, doesn't, she, like, lets Blue do her own thing, and everybody else is like, she just kind of steps back and watches people, and everybody else has, like, their own shit that they're, like, dealing with, and, like, it's chaos, and she's just like, huh. She's very, like, Luna to me.
Oh, yes. She is. She's got the long blonde hair, too.
Yeah, so I really like her, of course.
Yeah. Calla's fantastic. I like Calla. Calla is the more, like, she's the bitchier one of the three.
Is that the one that, oh, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, she's the one who's, like, where, like, Blue finally stands up to her, and she's like, finally, you have a backbone. Good.
Yes. Who is the one that did, like, the blood magic and shit?
The what?
Like, was it blood magic? That was, like, Neve. The one that was helping the other guy.
Neve. That's Mora's sister.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Did she die in this book? No.
No.
I don't remember. I don't know.
So Reed's Readers says she's like a squib in a magical family. I think it hits her deep at her heart. She feels like an outsider. Totally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, they did. So he also said, did the psychics make you think the movie Practical Magic? I just pictured the margarita party scene. Totally. By the way, and I love that movie. And if you like that movie, please please check out Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen. It's one of my favorite books of all time, and it's like straight out of it's like 90% of that book is in line with this, but the book is better than the movie.
Okay.
I highly recommend.
You keep talking about that book. I'm gonna get it.
It's so good. I can't reach
Garden Spells?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it. Okay.
It's an adult book. It's so good, though. It's so good.
Okay, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna read it.
It's magical realism.
Okay. What would you consider this? Fantasy, sci-fi, magical realism?
Barnes & Noble labels it as romance, teen romance, and I think that's crap.
No, it is not. It is not.
Yeah. I think fantasy.
Fantasy?
Because, like, with the ley lines and everything like that, and, like, the talking trees and...
Yeah. There's a little no, not so much science fiction. But magical realism a little bit, right?
Yeah, but it's magical realism has to be of realistic elements becoming magical. And I think that they're creating, like, a whole world with the caves water that makes it more fantasy than magical realism.
What do you think of caves water?
So cool. And I'm so glad that I like have a candle that is scented caves water. I got it in like a book subscription.
I have that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's just so much to happen. Now I know how you felt with the Bloodline series.
Yes.
It's so hard to keep like my mouth shut. So many great scenes. Oh my gosh, okay. Best scene ever is when they meet Blue for the first time in the restaurant. And Gansey's like, well, I can pay you for your time. Like, I'm not a prostitute.
She's a prostitute. That's great.
Oh, so good. So good. And then the helicopter scene. It's just, so good. What was one of your favorite scenes?
I really like the helicopter scene where we get to see the interaction with his sister.
Yes.
I really hope we get to see more of her, like his sister in the stories. No?
I don't remember, honestly. She's not like a huge, I don't think she plays like a huge role.
I think, like, obviously, like, the caves water scene was, like, probably my favorite scene in the whole book.
Mm-hmm. I like the Latin of it as well. It's really cool.
Yeah, I like that he like
for a bit. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, but she's not like a prominent. She's not like one of the main characters.
Yeah.
Not Adam. Ronan basically calls his brother a man whore in front of his girlfriend.
Yeah,
me too.
I really like that he leaves the joke in Latin for him to figure out that it's him. Like, I like that was like how he was like identifying that he left the message.
Yeah, I like that too. I love the humor. It was a lot more humorous the second time around reading it. I didn't realize how it's subtle humor, and I really like it. Like little scenes that make you laugh because it's an intense story.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people get caught up in that, but I really appreciate the writing style and like just the way that she like weaves the characters. I think it's just phenomenal.
Yes.
So the question number 4 says Blue spends every St. Mark's Eve on the ley line, helping her mother record the names of the people that will die the following year. How do you think this affects Blue? What would you do if you were Blue and knew which people in your town would die in the next 12 months? That would be so hard.
I know. That would be really, really tough.
Can you imagine like also being a waitress at like seeing those people come in and knowing like you're gonna die? Like I couldn't deal with that. Like
How do you feel knowing that, like, Gansey possibly dies? Doesn't it, like, kill you? Like,
I just am, like, accepting of it, like, it's gonna happen, but I figure he's not gonna stay dead.
okay.
So I'm like, it's kind of like a Star Wars or Marvel movies. I'm like, no one's dead unless there's a body, so I'm like, whatever.
Well, no one's dead even if there is a body, Noah.
Exactly. It's like Noah's still, like, kicking it, even though he's dead, so, you know.
I thought that was so funny when she's like, no, he can't be my true love. No, no, no.
Can you imagine not being in any relationship in fear that you're going to kill the person that you're in? Like, because she's saying, like, I just don't kiss anybody in fear that I am going to kill my true love. Can you imagine having that restriction of, like, growing up and going through teenage hormones, being like, you can't have any relationships? Like, what?
Yeah. She's really mature for her age.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. That's why, like, that's why Mora is my least favorite character. Cause, like, Blue is so, she brought Blue up to be really strong and independent, but she kind of treats her like a child. Like, I think, like, Mora is more naive and, like, yeah, she's more naive than Blue herself.
Yeah. And I think, like, it's like a mother trying to protect her daughter from from messing up relationships in the past, to her having a terrible judgment call on relationships. But I think I wish we saw a little bit more of Blue's backstory of why she's so mature for her age. Like, maybe she had to take care of her mom because she was all alone and she was heartbroken or something. You know what I mean? Like, how did she become so mature, and how did she accept this fate that she was given without it being crippling to her or rebelling against it?
I think it's just her personality.
I don't know. I feel like you have to have some, like,
I don't remember
force that's happened in your life to have that much maturity at that young of an age.
Right. I don't remember. I don't really remember, honestly. Yeah.
I don't know, like, how I would be able to deal. Like,
yeah.
And I think, like, her going every year and being just the battery and not being able to be a part of it or do anything to help, maybe that's why she's so mature, is that she, like, has to grapple with death in general and accept it, and realizes, like, how little she can do and things like that. That like makes her mature. She realizes that life is short. Or
yeah, it's all, yeah. I don't think I'd be able to deal with it either. And that's why I think it's so interesting that, like, now she's, like, a part of it.
Yeah. So it says, a ley line is a perfectly straight supernatural energy path that connected spiritual places. After knowing how powerful ley lines are, do you think that this is an accurate description? Why or why not? Do you think that something like ley lines exists in real life? If yes, explain what they are and where you believe you can find them.
I don't know.
Perfectly straight supernatural energy path that connected spiritual places. I like, I've seen so much ley line stuff in fantasy things, like with vampires and stuff like that, that I'm like, I've just always put ley lines in a fantasy world, and I'm like, I've never let that cross over.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, in my opinion, I think death is not messy, so I don't think afterlife would be. I think death is messy, so I think afterlife would be messy in that aspect, so I don't think it would be a straight line to connect things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I think is interesting is, as you read on in the series, she kind of backs up her magic. I can see, like, so I don't want to really say there isn't, like, magic. I mean, I guess the ley lines is, like, considered magical, but she kind of, like, sciences it a little bit. That's not even a word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, like natural.
She makes it more of, like,
realistic.
Yes, like, this is more like like physics, you know, like it's like she makes it more realistic, like using science versus it being a magic, like just like magic, you know? And it's, as you read on, I like the way, because I agree, ley lines are kind of overdone, but I feel like the way Maggie Stiefvater did it, I think she did really well, and it gets expanded a lot more in the other books with the ley lines.
I just don't think anything could be that simplistic that it has to be in a straight line connecting one spiritual place to another. I just think that, and things move, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, we're not like a standstill place here on Earth, so I just don't think things like that would be standstill either.
I agree.
So number 6 says, Adam has trouble disconnecting from his upbringing and breaking free from his father's constant abuse. Even though he obviously doesn't want to live with his parents under the circumstances, he struggles with the decision to leave. Why is it so hard for Adam to leave? Do you think he should have left home and moved into Monmouth Manufacturing before he finally did? Why or why not?
Oh, 100%. It's like women or anybody staying in like any type of relationship. Like, if you're in an abusive relationship, you know, it's like the same thing.
I get that, but there's also reasons why people stay.
No, I agree, but I think he should have left.
I guess for his well-being, he should have removed himself from that situation because he was aware of how bad it was.
Right.
I understand why he didn't.
Right. No, I do. I get it. I do. And like, that's one of the reasons why Adam kind of pissed me off a little bit, because like when they're in the car and Gansey picks him up from the hospital and he's like, you know, are you going to say, I told you so? This is exactly what you wanted. And he's like, no, I didn't want you to get hurt. Why would you think that?
Yeah. I was really irritated that his mom was like, don't say anything about the dad. Like, it was still taking, and I get that's realistic. People are like that, like spouses, even though their children are being abused, they still have that mindset of like, you're going to get all of us in trouble type of thing. Like, don't do it. You're just going to make him more mad.
Mm-hmm.
But it still made me mad.
Yeah.
Someone else says Adam is the least favorite. Oh, that makes me so sad for Adam.
Yeah. I'd say Adam is I wouldn't say he's my least. Yeah, he's my least favorite. I also think that he may be the weakest. Like, I still think he's strong. I don't mean it as in he's weak, but I think he might be the weakest of the characters.
Like, developmental growth and, like, emotional strength? What type of weakness?
Just, like, personality-wise.
Adam is not obnoxious. He is just a troubled kid, and he needs to work his stuff out.
Yeah, no, I agree. And
he's misunderstood, okay?
He ends up coming a long way, I think.
He is misunderstood.
He is. I think he can be malicious sometimes, and I don't think that's fair. Like, here's my thought process. If you honestly, some of the things he thinks of, like how Gansey thinks of him, like if you honestly think that Gansey and Ronan think this way of you, why are you their friends? Like, if you honestly think Gansey is constantly judging you, if you think Gansey's constantly belittling you, if you think Gansey doesn't really care about you and just wants to like own you, why are you friends with him?
I just want to put this out there that I hope you all, Adam haters out there, realize that it's not that he thinks that Gansey is like this. He comes out that way, but it's all insecurities of himself. He thinks he doesn't understand that type of accepting and love and friendship that he's getting. So he's staying because he wants that in his life, but he has a hard time accepting that. So he constantly is waiting for the other shoe to drop. He's constantly waiting to like question like Gansey's ulterior motives because he's not been treated good. So he thinks that that's not what is happening, and he constantly is questioning it. That's why he comes off as such an asshole, because he's like, I'm not used to this, and that's why. It's not like just being an asshole.
That's true. No, that's true. I like Adam. I do. He's just my least favorite.
I think makes me like him more than like everybody hates him, and I'm like,
no, I don't hate Adam. No, I don't hate Adam. I don't hate Adam. I hate Maura.
I don't know who that is.
Maura?
Oh, Laura. I thought you said Laura, and I was like, I don't know who Laura is.
No, Laura. I don't like Blue's mom. I really don't like Blue's mom. No, I like Adam. I just think he is a tad bit annoying. But characters have flaws, and it also makes for great character development.
Yes, it makes them realistic.
Yes. And I like Adam. Like I would not want to get rid of his character. He's very important to the story. He has like Adam's important. I wouldn't get rid of him at all.
Plus, like, imagine if he wasn't in the story and Blue was the only poor person in the group of that, and like she needs someone to connect to that level and understand her the way that Gansey can't.
Right, for sure. It's yeah. I would actually say book 2 is really high on Adam. I can't remember. Trevor, correct me if I'm wrong, but Adam has a lot of issues in book 2, I'm pretty sure. He still has like a lot of demons to like deal with.
More character development.
Yes.
I like cannot wait to read the second book. I'm like so amped for that book.
It's really, really good. It's good. I do think I don't know, who knows? Maybe the dream themes will be better. Let's see. He does have a lot to deal with in book 2. Yeah. Book 2 is like massive character development.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Yeah, and like what I love, just in this series and in this book as well, I love it's very friendship. Like it's just so, I don't know, it's like you said, it's not romance. Like I went into this book thinking romance as well. Like you're thinking, when you first read it, you're like, oh, this is gonna be about Blue and Gansey, 100%. And then you realize it's like, wait a second. Blue and Adam have a thing. Which, okay, are we shipping Blue and Adam?
God, no.
No.
No, but I think it's important to have that dynamic there so Blue can be like, have a comrade in the whole thing. I think that's important.
Yeah.
I really like the way that to the outside world, Gansey looks like this well-off, spoiled rich boy. And the fact that he like has this place off campus to like save money, but also he lets all of his friends live there to like be kind of like the mama bear of all of them. I like love that he like has that tenderness, is like, let me take care of you type of thing, even though he is this spoiled rich kid.
Right. But I don't think, but he's a spoiled rich kid, but he's not like a brat about it.
No, yeah.
So yeah, I love that. I love that he like wears glasses too. When like Blue sees him, there's like a scene where he like comes in and he's like all disheveled. Oh, it's after he comes from the hospital, after he like breaks his arm, and he's wearing glasses, and she's like, huh. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, yeah, I like nerdy guys with glasses. That's my type.
It makes him seem a little less polished, that he's got a flaw because his eyesight.
Yeah, definitely. But you know, it's interesting because like, I wonder if Gansey would have the same personality if he didn't grow up rich.
That's interesting. I don't think so. I think being rich made him more caring because he's able to take care of people, and he sees like how materialistic his parents are, and he's like rebelling against that, like with his car.
Yeah, his car is awesome. Oh, what do we think of Ronan and his brother?
Oh, speaking of, that's actually the next one. It says Ronan and Declan can't stand each other, but every Sunday they put their feud aside to attend mass together, no matter what. Do you think you could put aside your unfavorable feelings for someone to keep up appearances and traditions? I wouldn't. I would be like, why am I wasting my time with you if I don't enjoy your company? Like, even if you're blood related, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I'm wasting my time being around people I don't enjoy.
Yeah. I think siblings, I think is different. I don't know. That's hard because it's like, that's his brother and they've got another brother.
What?
So, yeah. It's 3 of them. They have a younger brother.
Where the hell is the younger brother?
He lives with Declan. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Because Declan is, I forget how old Declan is, but they have a younger brother. He's like 14 or 15.
If this was my sisters, because I have 2 sisters, if this was my sisters and I was like within the same age range that Declan and Ronan are, and my older sister was trying to boss me around like that, and we're like practically the same age, I'd be like, who do you think you are?
I don't
like,
think they're the same age, though.
No.
Don't Google it. Don't spoil yourself.
What?
I'm Googling it. Don't spoil yourself. Don't Google it.
Well, I think Declan is a little bit older than Ronan, but I am like, but they're like with only a few years of each other. So it's like, why? I would not be okay with them trying to like tell me how to live my life when I'm like in high school. I'd be like, screw you, man.
Yeah. So yeah, they have a brother, Matthew. Let's see how Matthew's 15, and I forget where he lives. Don't Google it because there's actually a huge spoiler.
Okay. While you're looking, okay, so I'm skipping a few questions. It says, it seems like nothing is good enough for Gansey and he's always striving for more. Why is he so hard on himself? Have you ever felt like you put too much pressure on yourself to succeed at something? If so, how do you feel? What, if anything, makes you feel better? So I think this is a lot of pressure from his parents and like the status of his family. And that's why he's pushing himself for more.
Agreed. He lives in the dorms. You're right. Yeah, he goes to Aglenby and he lives in the dorms. Yeah.
So, like, if Declan was trying to take care of me instead of, I'd be like, why are you worried about me? Like, I have my shit. Like, it's fine. Like, I will take, like, chips will fall where they may. And I am, like, old enough to take responsibility for my own life, even if I'm fucking it up. Like,
that's true. But I think the church thing is they do it for Matthew.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought they were doing it to, like, keep their father's memory alive or something.
I think maybe, but also they try to be civil for Matthew.
Okay.
Yeah, because he is an important in the story. So
see, now like that would be like the censure for me. Like I would do it to protect someone else.
Yeah, because his brother, I mean, he's still young. He's only 15 years old.
So yeah, I would deal with my other sibling if it meant that I was protecting my younger sibling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, they briefly mention it. Like Gansey is the one who tells Blue how like Ronan goes to mass every Sunday with Declan and their brother Matthew, and it's like a one line. Like he's mentioned once, and that's it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
Okay, I have a really good question.
Yes.
Legend says the person who wakes Glendover is granted a wish. Explain what you think the following characters would wish for if they woke Glendover. Blue, Gansey, Adam, Ronan, Noah, Wilkie, Neve, and Mora. Which one what would they each wish? I would think Blue would wish that curse would be lifted.
Yeah. Or do you think she wants to be psychic?
I think she would rather have that being... I think that the restriction on her is more than her wanting to be psychic.
Yeah.
You can still do good with the person who she is.
Yeah. Especially when she like... Because she starts to like... With that tree and she sees that she's actually like... She sees herself crying for Gansey and she realizes she loves him.
Mm-hmm.
She's starting to realize like, oh crap, yeah, this is gonna be an issue. I think Adam would be...
Do you think he would protect his mom?
No.
Like wish his mom was in a better state of mind to realize what danger she's in?
I don't think so.
Really?
No, I think he would wish for like an opportunity to like succeed. He has like, so money is obviously an issue, but I think if he was given an opportunity that he earned where he could support himself, I think that would be good.
But I think he stayed in that trailer for so long because he was trying to protect his mom.
Maybe.
So I feel like he would be altruistic with his wish and wanting to save her versus doing something selfish of wishing for success.
Mm-hmm. Possibly. Not success, but like being able to support himself. Because like that's all he wants to do. Well, I guess he wants to be successful. He wants to like make it on his own.
I don't know. I mean, I get that. I think that he wants to be self-reliant, but I think that he would be more focused on trying to be successful so he can take care of his mom.
I didn't get the vibe that he really cared about his mom, but I don't know. Maybe I wasn't.
He could have left so much like earlier, but he stayed.
That's true.
And he talks about like, well, I have his gun, so he can't use it, type of thing to protect them. He's trying to protect himself and protect his mom. And if he was just trying to protect himself, he could have left.
That's true. That's true. But do you like how in the end he like finally leaves to protect his friend?
Yeah. And I think it's because he saw how his mom was still trying to be like, don't say anything. And he realized who was actually sticking up for him. So then he chose his friends who actually care about him versus his mom is not showing how she cares.
Okay. What would Gansey wish for? Do we know what Gansey wants to wish for in the Raven Boys? Does it tell us?
I don't think so.
No. I think. What do you think Gansey would wish for? I feel like I can't answer this.
Oh. I think that honestly, I would think that he would want to be self-sufficient because I don't think that he likes relying on his family. I think he wants to like, not that he's with the chip on his shoulder like Adam is, but I think he wants to be separated from being underneath his social obligations. He doesn't want to live that life. He wants to be able to do what he wants. So I think that is more Gansey versus Adam, is he wants to like separate himself from that. I have no idea what Ronan would want. Maybe
his dad. I think he'd want his dad alive.
Yeah.
I would actually think, I think Gansey would want,
what do you think Mora would want?
What, Mora?
Yeah.
Blue's dad.
Even though, like, she, like, regrets everything?
No, because remember, she thinks he's, like, trapped somewhere.
Oh, yeah, no, I remember that part.
Yeah.
That's such a weird part of the story. Another weird facet that they added in at the end.
Yeah, well, it comes together. It's crazy. She weaves everything together so fantastic. Everything in this book has a place. There's a reason for it. It's interesting that you're like bringing all this up because like there's a reason for it. I think Gansey would wish for Noah.
Oh, for Noah to come back? Like, to be alive? That's so sad and tender.
Yeah. Like, that's what I see Gansey wishing for.
So do you think Noah would wish to be alive?
I think so.
I don't know Noah that much because he's not very character development in this book. And he's barely there. What about Neve?
What would Neve wish for?
Like power?
Completely selfish. Power.
Yeah. And the other one's Welky. Now, is Welky the...
That's the teacher.
Yeah.
Same thing. Power.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
100%. Are we missing a character?
Nope, that's all of them.
That's all of them?
Okay, so another question says, why would Gansey, someone that has the means to buy anything he could ever want or need a wish from Glendover? So they kind of mention, like, with his anaphylactic shock, like with getting bee stings, that he was saved because another boy died.
Which was Noah.
Like, what?
Which was Noah.
Oh, was it Noah?
Yeah. Noah died. Yeah.
Oh, how sad.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't catch that?
No, I just thought it was another random boy that died.
No, it was Noah.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
So Noah gave his life.
So it happened to be on the ley line at the same time, and Noah was dying. Another boy will die that's not supposed to. So you're living because another boy is dying that's not supposed to, which was Noah.
So I got that Noah died on the ley line, but I didn't get that they were like because it. Yeah, I didn't get because I'm so used to them being the same age. So it was talking about Gansey being a little boy, but I guess Noah wouldn't age because he's dead. Right. So I didn't connect that it was happening at the same time.
Yeah, what was it? It was like 10 years ago or something like that.
So sad.
More than that, yeah. So yeah, it's so sad.
But I think
Noah gets his book. Noah gets his book.
I think that's what like Gansey would like maybe wish for too, is like helping out the other people, something he couldn't buy.
Yeah, yeah. I think Gansey would 100% care about, like, Gansey is really selfless. I think he's very like, let me take care of you. What can I do to help you? I have the means. I have the finances. What can I do?
Yeah, he's more concerned with everybody else's well-being than his own.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do we think that he's suicidal, or that he like doesn't think that he deserves the chance to live? Because like
I think
the whole bee thing happened, I'm like, he just is gonna let that thing sting him and he's gonna die. Like, he just doesn't care. He doesn't have any self-preservation.
True, but then when Wilkie came after him with a gun, he was actually scared.
I don't know.
Like, I don't think he wanted to die. He like fought for it.
So explain like the whole reaction with the bees then.
I think he feels guilty I think he feels guilty.
So you think that he like was okay with the bee killing him because he thought that was the way that he was supposed to die, like he was meant to die that way, but he didn't?
I think he was like thinking about death. Like, what would it be like? Like, am I supposed to be alive? Like, why was I given a second chance? But then when he actually realized, because isn't there a line where they talk about it, where he's like, now that like I'm actually facing death, he's like, it's not what I was expecting. You know, it's like different.
I think that all like that bee experience when he was younger also shaped a lot of his personality as well. And like, that's why he's so willing to help other people, is because he got a second chance at life. Yeah.
There's got to be a I know there's a quote. I don't remember. I can't find it. But I think he feels guilty because it says, because he knows you will live because someone else is dying. So he knows someone else died.
Yeah.
Yes, Persephone is my favorite of the clairvoyants as well.
Yes, very Luna-esque. So this one says, do you think Henrietta became a magical place because a ley line is located there, or do you think that the ley line was placed there because Henrietta already possessed magic?
I think it's the ley line. I don't remember.
Well, I think it's like speculative. I don't think they...
No, I think it gets addressed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Maura talks about how, remember how she talks about how she could have left Henrietta, but there's a she can't, there's a reason that they're in Henrietta, that Henrietta has like some special, same with like Gansey, like he knows that like there's something special about Henrietta, and I think it's addressed later on, like why Henrietta has all of this like
yeah, like the spiritual things happening.
Yeah, I think it is addressed why. So I think it's a good talking question for the Raven Boys because that's when it's introduced, but I'm pretty sure it gets addressed later on.
Okay, so this one is like as talking as a discussion point, but I don't understand it, so maybe you can shed light on it. So it says, ravens, both physically and symbolically, are featured throughout the Raven Boys. List 5 examples of their presence. Why do you think the author chose the type of bird for both the title of the book and the incidences that you listed? So why ravens?
I have no idea. I honestly don't know what's significant about ravens, to be honest.
Like, obviously, ravens, like, Chainsaw is a raven.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why. I guess I don't know enough about birds to know, like, that's the significant, like, symbolism between actual ravens.
So, ravens are associated with Apollo, the god of prophecy. They are said to be a symbol of bad luck and were the god's messengers in the mortal world.
Oh.
It's also, they're black birds, so they represent darkness, evil, depression, grief, and sadness.
Because I know, like, Edgar Allan Poe
as
a raven.
It also is a symbol for intelligence and wisdom.
I can see all of those different ties in the book, too.
Reed's reader says ravens are a symbol of death because they carry the dead to the other world, or at least the myth says that.
Very fascinating, just like blue.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. See, I always wondered that too, and I never like dove into like discussing it.
Yeah.
But I always wondered, like, why ravens? Like, because, like, when they're up in the helicopter, they see the raven on the ground in Henrietta, and then the Raven Boys and Aglenby, their mascots are ravens, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's I was like, yeah, why ravens? It's interesting. I did not know that.
So is there anything else that you want to discuss about the Raven Boys before we wrap things up?
What are your theories for the Dream Thieves?
I don't really have theories because all I know is it's going to be about Ronan and about his backstory, and it's got to be about, like, the magical properties of Ronan. Like I said, like, I think he's going to turn into a bird, and he's going to, like, be able to transform a bird. And then we obviously know, like, he pulls things from his dreams. So I'm just imagining, like, Adrian from Bloodlines, like, dream walking. I think he's going to, I have no idea why I think this, but I think that he's going to turn into a bird and, like, be able to take flight. At least that's what I'm hoping.
Okay.
And Gabby says nothing. So, you know, I'm either spot on or way off.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
Tells me that you already know everything, and I'm like, I'm blind here.
So, okay.
Trevor, you're not helping.
I think you just need to be aware that you don't get all the answers in the Dream Thieves. Okay. So, like,
that's not good. Trevor just busted out laughing, and I'm like, what does that mean?
So, like, don't go into the Dream Thieves thinking you're gonna get all the answers. You just get more questions along with answers. So just know it's not. There is a lot that happens. Like Blue Lily Blue, even though it's my least favorite, like shit hits the fan.
Oh my god, I cannot wait to start the next one. I like want to start it tonight.
What do you think is gonna happen with Noah?
I don't know. Here's the thing. I need more development from Noah because he doesn't really have a lasting impression on me. And so far, all I know is that he is being he's leeching off of Blue.
Yeah. I think Noah gets a good amount of development in the Dream Thieves as well.
So I think it would be interesting twist that Noah would be leeching off Blue's powers, and then Blue would get weaker, and they would say, like, Noah, it's time for you to go. Like, you need to let Blue go so you're not hurting Blue, type of thing. Because I feel like there has to be a balance of her being able to amplify energy. There has to be, like, every action has a reaction, you know, like the equal reaction. So I feel like expelling that much power and energy of giving that to Noah and to amplifying his power has to have some bad repercussion for Blue. And I'm like, the other shoe has to drop somewhere. And so I'm like, that'll be interesting to be like, if that's how that plays out, like that's how he exits the book, is like, you're pulling too much from Blue. You can't stay, type of thing.
Right. I want to ask Trevor a question. I'll ask him later. I can't remember if if the scene I'm thinking of happens in The Dream Thieves. Okay. What about Ronan? Oh no, we already talked about Ronan. What about Adam?
Well, you guys already said that he goes through shit, and so I'm just like, I'm sure he's gonna have like repercussions with his family, because that's like his main biggest issue.
Yeah.
And maybe like Adam and Ronan will bond over their like shitty family lives.
Yeah. Being deaf, that's gonna be something that in 1 year.
So he'll have an even bigger chip on his shoulder because he'll feel like he's like
not disabled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, everything that makes me talk about Adam, I'm just like, he's precious. Stop hating him. Like,
I like Adam. I really do. I do. He's just, I do. I do like him. I don't think the story would be as good without him. I think he's needed in the story 100%. It's not like when you read a character where you're like, this character does nothing for the story. Like, you know, like,
yeah,
awful. Like, you don't need this character, but Adam is important. I like Adam. He's my least favorite.
So obviously, Dream Thieves is going to be next for next month, and it'll be over on Gabby's channel on March 2nd, same time. We used to do it at 6 p.m. So hopefully you guys can all join us for that one. Had a lot of fun for this one. So
a lot of good theories.
Yes. So we'll see how off I am for the next one. So thank you guys for showing up, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Bye.